Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
There you go.
Waiting here or?
Hi, I'm Robbie Cannon. I'm the driver that's going to be taking you around on this. This is John. He's one of our engineers. He's been on the test programme over the last few months with me. We've been testing this up and down the West Coast Main Line, as you might be aware. We were hoping that the locomotive would be slightly better than the Class 88. Class 88 on its own can pull 1,400 tonnes, so we're hoping somewhere around about 1,500 tonnes. The last test that I did up sharp at 2,152 tonnes on it, and it still didn't stick. So we're going to take it out in the next few weeks, and I'm going to see if we can bring it to stand and see what it can do. And then what we do is we work our way back, and then we decide what it can do on a daily basis. So that's the next task. We're waiting for the paperwork to be signed off in the next few weeks. Once the paperwork's signed off, we'll get these old girls out and start doing some work. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take you up inside the loco. I'm going to show you around the cab desk, and then we're going to do 2 or 3 runs up and down, and you can ask us any questions and we'll try and answer them. John will give you some of the technical stuff, and just be free to ask, and you can take whatever pictures you want, no problems at all. Make sure you ask some good questions and some challenging ones to John. Not to me, to John. And when we go up the steps, just be careful when you're going up, right? Take your time, hold on to the railings, and please, when you go through the engine room, keep your heads down, don't bang your head, okay? Because it is so. Right.
We're coming up.
You just go right to the corner so we get everybody in. Right, we're on the Class 93, as you know, so we'll start working our way around the desk very quickly, and I'll just point out various things. So here we've got the GSMR radio. We use this for speaking to the signalman. Here we've got the brake gauges. This one is for the bogie brakes for the loco, shows what's happening on the loco. This is the main reservoir, shows what's in the tanks and what we can supply down the train. And this is the brake pipe control, and that shows the brake pipe that's in the train and on the loco. We need to have 5 bar up before we can get any brakes off. Here we've got the speedometer. We've got the TPWS kit for the safety systems to do with the signalling, and AWS, which is for the signalling system as well. We've got the driver's display unit, and we can do everything through that. We can mess around with what we want the loco to do. We can put the air conditioning up, down, all of these things. We can even put the cameras on and have a look around the loco and watch what people are up to, which is really quite clever. And for security purposes on the loco, it's a great thing to have, and these cameras are recording. That lights up all the fault panel, and I can test and make sure we'll get no LEDs out. This is the master key for driving the loco, start and stop button. We've got the coupling kit when we have the electronic coupler on the loco. Park and brake on and off. We've got various buttons to do with alarm systems and sand isolate. If you don't put that out, we leave big clouds of sand as we go down there if it decides it wants to sand. So we leave that off. Now here's a clever part of the loco. You probably heard this loco is a tri-mode loco, right? So that means it can work on AC from the overheads, it can work on diesel, and it can work on battery. But the really clever bit is we can work on battery and diesel. So when we work on battery and diesel, it becomes the same as a Class 37 in effect. So it means that we can pull decent sized trains and with 1750 horsepower. I'm also able to go into the computer and change the settings that I can run it on battery with the diesel topping it up, or I can run in diesel with the battery topping it up. So it's really clever, and you can make the loco quite efficient. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the other cab and then I'll explain what these controls do and then I'll demonstrate it from the other end. So we'll go through. Again, mind your head.
EPWS and AWS operational.
Right, so here we've got the power controller. That's what I take power with. If I push it forwards, I can also put some brake in. But normally, when you put the brake in, the blocks come on. In this loco, when we're in battery mode, what we do is we use the motors as generators and we can top the battery back up. We've got the train brake for applying the brake on the loco and the train. And we've got the straight air brake for just the loco itself. So if I take the train brake off, you can watch that's a straight air brake. So at the moment, the brakes are now off in the loco. So I'm going to continue forwards. There we go. The locomotive at the moment is running in battery. So apart from if I put the air conditioning off, like that. Stay quiet. Now I'm used to class 37s and sometimes I've been working on 37s for a week or two and I come on these, I feel as if I've gone deaf. It takes a good 5 or 10 minutes to acclimatise to the peace and quiet. It's lovely. And you've got the air conditioning system and the cab's filtrate. You've got a filtration system as well, so you don't get dust in the cab. It's a nice place to be. So what I'm doing now is come up towards the gate and I'm going to move the controller forwards and I'm going to brake the loco down to about 2 miles an hour. Just for the regen brake. Feel that? It's actually quite grippy. And when I'm doing that, it's putting electricity back into the batteries. And then once I get so slow, I put the straight air brake on because you get down to 2 miles an hour and then the regen function doesn't work. So we'll change ends. And what we'll do is, whilst we're changing ends, John's going to give you a tour through the equipment bay, and once we come out, I'm going to put it onto diesel, because if we put it onto diesel just now, you won't be able to hear yourself think. Right.
I'll quickly talk you through all these cupboards. Shall we all get in? So, to your left, right, our left, this is the low voltage one. This is where we select all our systems. We turn each system individually on and off. We have full control of if we want to have the AWS system and everything in. So if you look behind yourself in the back corner, that is your traction motor blower. So each bogey's got 2 motors on it to drive each axle. The heat that it generates goes out, that blower goes out in the roof. So working down on the right hand side is your big handle there. This is your high voltage cabinet, so it's where the pan comes in. This is your pan isolation, so we can make sure when we're working on it we're safe. We've got all our selections for all our 450 and 900 volts in here. Speaking of the pan, this is our pan res, so when we run the pan, put the air into the pan and put it open after we control it. So there's our smart block there, this is our brake system. controls all our brakes. And then if you ever have to do anything like shunting the vehicle around, we turn the brakes off and then easy for the shunters. So this is repeated twice, but what's on this side here is also on this side here, so I'll talk you through this side. This is one of the batteries, got two of them. The batteries are only the size of this small cabinet, and that's what we've got that moves the whole loco and all its load. Because we do it in 3 different modes, the train has to be able to take different types of power. So this is our traction selection box. This will get your battery power, your pan power or your diesel power, transfer it into usable power and then put it into the bogies. This is our traction selection cooler, so anything that has to change power into something else will generate heat, so just needs to be cooled down with one box itself, like I said, repeated on the same side there. Trying to be quick because this normally catches me out. The idea is to make a big diesel engine. It's what drives everything. It's not a very big cupboard, so you can see we get quite a lot of power out of just a small engine. This is our compressor. This generates all the air for the train. This controls all the sanding equipment. So when we generate the air from the compressor, it goes through an air dryer, gets all the moisture on the water, and then when it needs dry air, make sure we don't get any moisture in it. Cooler for the diesel engine. This is the starter batteries, and that's everything that's in that. Almost made it, but I nearly made it when the compressor started again.
link every time we swap it onto a mode. If we're not above 15 mile an hour, there's a slight lull while it changes over. If we're above 15 mile an hour, what happens is the motors actually generate electricity to keep the DC link in. So there you go, it's building itself back up again. So what I'll do is I'll lift it up to 1400, and then when the change ends, that means I've got it back in at the other end. So you just, everything you do with these locos, you've just got to wait for it to take its time. On the move, it's dead easy. It's pretty much 20 seconds. We've just got to be patient with it. Right, if you want to go right through it.
have any questions or?
Very quiet.
Yeah.
So far, thanks.
TPWS and AWS operational.
Do you think that'd be easy to maintain once you get under?
Well, for the first couple of years, I think we've got Stadler backing us up with warranty and stuff like that.
Faults Stadler are going to deal with, because it's like buying a brand new car sort of thing. But maintenance wise, it's quite a steady cycle. Every couple of weeks it gets an air exam, every month it gets a B exam. So as long as everything goes well, until we're using them in anger sort of thing, you know, putting the mileage on, dragging loads constantly, days after days after days. Couldn't really tell you whether it's going to be a nice easy or it's going to be something we're going to try and jiggle with to get better sort of thing. But so far so good, everything seems to be quite steady.
What is amazing is, since we got the first loco, we've not had to change any brake pads, have we?
No. So a lot of the regeneration of it, you know, for us.
Back again. His mum just waved at him, and he waved down here. And she definitely didn't see that wave. So when's the last people on? Is it 4 they come on?
Next one.
Is it the next one?
Yeah. John's going to take it back over, because I've got to shoot.
Okay.
You get back to work, so I can
Really?
Yeah, to
Wow.
do something for it. Jump off the wheels.
So that's class 93 in a quick nutshell. It's quite an impressive loco, and no doubt you'll be seeing in the magazines and that what it's up to next. We've got an idea of what we're doing with it, and what other people are asking us to do. But it's like everything else, everything's quite commercial. So just keep an eye out, and if you see us out the way, give me a wave. Right, I'll let you out.